Hey everyone, this is Mike Andes. You're listening to the Business Bootcamp podcast. I'm excited today because we're doing another one of these live calls, the 20 people that called in or emailed in and got 20 minutes on the phone. So live call again coming today. And I love it because it's just so cool because last episode was Jonathan and we were hearing about his software and the things that he's trying to do with mapping. Today is with a 17-year-old named Joseph. Joseph's 17 years old. He is trying to create an online store that sells fitness-related products like nutritional as well as clothing and things like that, supplements, protein powders, etc. Try to differentiate himself from the other gazillion companies and people that are trying to do the same thing. He's just trying to drop ship the product. So we're going to talk about branding, how he can set himself apart, what he can do on social media to create a personal brand and really drive sales via branding instead of purely pay-per-click model. And so it's gonna be interesting. Now, before we get into today's show, I want to say big thank you to FreshBooks, freshbooks.com/bootcamp. Please check it out. FreshBooks has been a really long time supporter of the podcast, and I really appreciate it. They've renewed 3 times their sponsorship. They see the value in what we're doing here in giving to small business owners, and it's really for them a long-term strategy of they just see the value that we're offering to small business owners, and they've renewed, like I said, 3 times. And I really couldn't do what we do here without FreshBooks and our other sponsors, Gusto, Landscape Business Course. We've had several in the past, TopTal, others that we've had. And I really appreciate it because it gives me kind of the financial backing to make these calls. Like I take 20 minutes with each of these 20 people. It's more like 30 minutes each. That's not like I don't just get time flowing through my fingers. Like it's usually in the evenings and I'm trying to squeeze it in, but it gives me some sort of validity to what we're doing here and allows me to do it from a financial standpoint. And that time that I would have done spending at my Augusta Lawn Care and my company, I'm able to allocate to the listeners of the show and helping them for free and with these calls. And so I really do appreciate freshbooks.com/bootcamp. They are a great supporter of the podcast. And if you are looking for a cloud accounting software where you can keep track of your customers, what they're paying, what you're invoicing them for, your all of your expenses, and we just changed from an LLC to an S corp, and so now every single month we really have to do these. Obviously paying sales tax, but really staying top a lot more of our annual reports and things like that now that we're a corporation. And you can't do that without some sort of CRM software that's tracking all your expenses, your taxes, all that information, all that good stuff, invoicing. Like it's super important. Like take away the fact that it's great for sales and it's great for growing your business. Just the fact for keeping track of everything and for taxes purposes and all of that, it's super crucial. So freshbooks.com/bootcamp. If you go there, it helps the podcast, helps FreshBooks, and they are a massive supporter of the show. And I do appreciate everything they're doing for us and supporting small business owners. Now, today we are talking, like I said, to a 17-year-old. It's so great. I love the entrepreneurial spirit, and a lot of these younger listeners have read the book and they kind of know where I'm coming from. They're a little bit younger than me, so they might look up to me just a little bit. I'm 21, going on 22 in just a couple weeks. And so it's interesting. I like the dynamic, and he's listened to the show for quite a while. And to see a young entrepreneur that's listened to the show for a couple years and has, actually jumped out there and started to do something himself, even though it's small, something that's generating revenue, you'd be able to, kind of test your chops, get the taste of entrepreneurship, what it's like to have a website, sell product, market, create a brand. It's just so imperative. I think it's better than any 4-year degree or, senior year you could possibly dream up. So without any further delay, let's jump right into it. Joseph, 17-year-old with his fitness brand, wanting to make a brand instead of just a store. Here we go.
All good.
All right. So kind of tell me a little about yourself, why you wrote in a little bit. Like I know that you're 17 years old, long time listener to the podcast, and you need help marketing your fitness brand. So tell me a little bit about the fitness brand. Obviously, young entrepreneur. So tell me a little bit about yourself and stuff like that.
All right. So my name's Joseph Valerio. Go to Bishop Kenny High School, going into my senior year. And I've always been into weightlifting and athletics and all the stuff of that nature. So I figured what better brand to make than a fitness brand. So I made it through Shopify since I'm not very good with coding or WordPress or anything like that. So just easy integration there, and I made it through Shopify and drop shipping model since still in high school, so I don't really have too much money to risk on the overhead.
Mm-hmm.
And I made it about 4 months ago, and I didn't really know what to do with the marketing. I was still working out a lot of kinks in the website and stuff, and it brought in about $400 already just without marketing out at all.
Cool.
These past couple of weeks. So now I'm starting to think that the website's pretty good, so good enough for me to start spending some marketing dollars on. And I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the social media platforms, and I'm just trying to find that one thing I can do to really jump my market.
Okay. Yeah, so first off, let me get your website name. What is that?
It's www.dailygrindfitnesscompany.com.
Daily Grind Fitness Company. Typing with one hand. Here we go. There we go. Daily Grind Fitness Company. Loading. There you go. Oh, cool. Very cool. I'm just kind of scrolling through. All right, so it looks like you got clothes, and then okay. Are you the one at the very bottom? I'm trying to find a picture of you. Are you the guy at the very bottom or not?
No, that's Garrett. I'm not on the website.
Oh, you're not. Okay.
That was actually one of my promotions. It was Bodybuilder of the Month.
Cool.
Garrett McNutt was the guy I chose because he's got a wife, 2 kids, still gets in the gym and all that, and he really fit the good example for that.
Cool.
So I put him on there.
So when you say $400 that you made, is that in profit then?
That is in profit. So I've had about $800 to $900 in sales.
Okay, cool. Very cool. All right. So then you're drop shipping this from like a supplier, like a Chinese supplier? Are you doing that? Like, how exactly are you doing the drop shipping?
So it is a Chinese supplier, and that's actually one of my biggest problems that I'm running into, is that the wait times from China when you're drop shipping are upwards of 25 days. So I it's kind of hard for me to get a customer in and market to a customer when the wait times are that long. That being said, I started doing more drop shipping from the United States, but about 75% of my products are still being drop shipped from China.
Okay, all right. What if you offered, because you don't want to have an inventory problem where you have to buy everything, right, in all the different sizes and SKUs and all that junk. Like down the road, that's something you do when you have a massive amount of volume. Right now, you're doing low cost volume, which is great.
Yeah,
That's
down the road. That's correct. Down the road, I'm thinking about like for scaling this business, maybe like I will in the future buy all my products at once and keep them in a warehouse or at a space around here that I keep them. But that's going to be a lot of overhead. So that's going to be pretty far down the line once I have an established customer base.
Okay, yeah. I'm looking up Daily Grind on Instagram here. Fitness, Daily Grind Fitness. Is that your Daily Grind Fitness Company? There it is. Oh yeah, you have 1,000 followers. That's pretty good. Nice. And you've been on here, just looking around. Yeah, like if I were you right now, I'd stay with what you're doing as far as the drop shipping model. It's lean, not a lot of not capital intensive, and I would just make this a complete, absolute branding game as far as your logo, what you're all about, And how if I were you, I'd be focused on the social media part because that's free. Like I wouldn't right now focus on Facebook ads. I wouldn't focus on Google AdWords. I'd be looking at right now how can you do it for free because you probably don't have a whole lot of cash to just burn through on figuring out how to make a great ad on one of those pay per click models. So like even your daily fitness grind has a considerable following as far as follower count. What I would do if I were you is oh, here, sorry, one second. Yeah, if I were you, I would essentially take everything that's happening in the world of fitness and add your 2 cents to it. What I mean by that is if it's taking a picture of Dwayne Johnson or one of these other big celebrities in that field that's going to get a lot of eyeballs to the hashtag or to the picture. For instance, like I'm looking right here as I'm talking to you about, you have the picture of Mayweather and him and all that stuff. Like that's good because like that's where you got like 50 likes on that. Like that's a picture that's gonna people recognize. And then what I would do if I was you is you would be kind of like the news network or like you'd be giving your 2 cents on that picture or the video or whatever the news content is, and then you give your 2 cents on it. And so then people follow you because you become the source of information for everything fitness related. So whether it be what people are wearing, what type of sneakers they have, what type of exercises, what type of, protein powders are going to be good. And if there's a debate out there, if I were you, I'd be essentially looking at the news headlines of in the industry of fitness, using those hashtags so you start trending in some of these areas. And essentially I would try to be every single day if I were you, looking at the headlines in the fitness industry and making some sort of content around it. So, if it's the Mayweather fight, if I were you, I'd be talking about their fighting, their fitness, how they both do their fitness, what's their techniques, what's their day-to-day like routine for their fitness, and what kind of supplements do they take, that stuff like that. If it's something else, if it's another celebrity or if there's a fad in fitness that's kind of going through, whether it be yoga, Pilates, or something like that, a specific type of equipment, I would, if it's trending, whether it be on social or just in general, like kind of a 1 or 2 year window of kind of a craze of a certain type of fitness, I'd be trying to be the go-to person for information, and I'd be trying to be the person that kind of just gives your 2 cents on that subject on a consistent basis so that people follow you and they look to you as the center or kind of like the digest of what's going on in the industry.
I see. Yeah, and another thing I was thinking is like just trying to make my brand different because there's like a lot of those kind of digests and pages like that out there.
Right.
So I was just thinking of like, what's the one thing? I mean, I have this kind of setback with this 25-day delivery situation. So I was thinking like maybe I could make up some sort of program where like I make an outfit for them, or just like thinking of something like that would be different than another fitness brand per se, and that like a 30-day wait might seem like it may be worth it to wait the 30 days if I could provide to them something else other than just the clothes.
Right, so like that's when you get into giving away like free advice / content, and that is whether it be once they get to your website, instead of it being a very evident that it's a Shopify, or not a Shopify, but just like a store, maybe make it where the opening page is trying to get their email by offering like a 7-day workout like a workout routine that you give that is for the biceps or for the chest or whatever it is. And same thing and then essentially on your social media, you'd be linking back to that giveaway. And when I say giveaway, it's a piece of content that they got to give their email address to you for, essentially, whether that be an 8-pack abs workout for next 15 days, get whatever it is, however you want to name that and market that, and a routine, or even a piece of content that people want to see, something like the one exercise that X and Y Z celebrity uses to make their arms look like the way they do, or whatever it is, or some piece of content
That could work.
that catches people's eye, that is going to put you in the forefront of their mind. As like, if I were you, I'd make this brand a little bit more about you, to be honest. I'd try to. I don't know how much you are involved in weights and things like that, but if you're able to do
Pretty involved.
right, like, so if you can make it more about you instead of, because like you said, there's a lot of brands out there that are about, the fitness digest. They're having the celebrities on there. They are having, like, I'm looking at your website, the massive guys that are flexing and obviously bodybuilders and do this all day long. What if you become the guy for 17 to 22-year-olds that are going through college and are trying to cut their freshman 20, the all the weight they put on at between high school and college, or and you become the guy that if someone wants to cut weight over the summer before they start school in their freshman year, they come to you. What kind of program can you get for someone over the Christmas holidays to get in shape? What can you, like, what I'm talking about here? Like, really,
I see.
what?
That would actually help with
And really
personal branding. Perspective.
Exactly. You become the face of the brand, whether that be doing 5-minute videos on YouTube on the specific exercises, and then having a spreadsheet that they can download on your website that they give their email for, which is essentially the exact same content. So I'd repurpose that. So like, if you create a killer workout that's 14 days long, get ripped over the Christmas holidays, whatever it is, lose 5 pounds. You create that workout plan, and then you go over it in video form, make it 5-10 minutes, whatever it is, put that on YouTube right before Christmas when people are going to start searching for stuff like that. Then put a link to your website where they can download like a worksheet where they can print it off. They're going to see your name on there all the time, but then they're also going to, fill it out as they do it each day, something like that. Like, and then you'll put it on your Instagram with a link on there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, whether it be like an Instagram with a before and after of someone losing, 15 pounds, getting a little slimmer and trimmer after doing that workout. If it's like, if I were you, I'd go after the niche that you're in right now. You're a 17-year-old. I wouldn't be going after the 40-year-old bodybuilder. I wouldn't be going after the mom that has 3 kids, because like right now, if a mom with 3 kids went to your website, they're probably not going to buy based upon just like the branding image, right? I'd go after the guys that you can directly market to, the young guys that want to look good before college, and then grow with your audience. So like, what I mean by that is, right now you're 17. I'd be going after the people that want to look good for going to college, or they want to cut weight for their senior year in high school, or they want to look good for the prom, whatever it is. That I'd brand like that, and then just grow with your audience. So when you're 25, 26, it's going to change. You will, evolve with your audience instead of trying to be, making your company around an audience that you think you want to be in 15 years. I just create it around what you are right now, make it your personal brand, and then that's what differentiates you from all the other companies that are doing the same thing, but now you've branded around yourself and a specific niche of younger guys that are trying to do this for school, trying to look, the part, trying to cut 15 pounds for, their first year of college, whatever it is, and you become their go-to guy. That won't change as long as you evolve with them. So like, like a few years ago, even when I started the podcast, it was a much younger audience. Well, it's not necessarily that we've had a lot of older people. It's just I've matured with my audience, and so now some of the listeners are a little bit older. And so that's what I'd encourage you to do. In 15 years, your website might look a little bit more like it is now. Bodybuilding, big dudes, really going heavy lifting, things like that. But right now, a lot of 17, 18-year-olds, that's not their reality, and they will stray away from a brand image that isn't matching up with how they look or what their ideals are. But I promise you, if they want to lose 15 pounds before college, and that's the guide that you're trying to give them for free to get them in kind of your funnel, I'd go for it. Because if you can get them in your funnel with giving them free guides for workouts, giving them free guides for ab workouts or eating plan, all of that, if you can get them in the funnel, and what I mean by that is getting their email address in exchange for those things, then you can send them emails once a month for your products, products around your brand. I'd try to incorporate that, something local that you can send t-shirts that are your brand. And I think that would be a gateway to sell stuff that's a little bit faster, like you get it to them sooner, but just have one or two SKUs, whether it's just like a t-shirt and a hat, whatever it is, something like that that they could buy, that they could identify with. And that's just something that you could grow into.
Yeah, I definitely think that that is the route that I'm going to choose for my brand, just because there's too much competition in
Mhm.
anything else. Um,
Right.
that's kind of like the only niche that I can actually fit into is because I'm young and I have an audience that can grow with me.
hmm Yeah, in any sort of, because the internet has just changed everything, right? Like everything from
Oh yeah,
the fitness and health industry, podcasting, video, it's all commoditized now. So the only way you create brand now, well, one of the major ways you create brand now is through your personality. Like you are the brand. Yes, you can buy that, but right now you're not in that position to do that, and you need a ton of money to. If you tried to make Daily Grind Fitness Company, a household name, you're spending millions and millions of dollars
oh
doing it,
yeah,
right? However, it's amazing to see if someone does it right and has their kind of unique spin, how fast a YouTuber or a vlogger in the fitness industry can really excel. And it literally, like I said, it takes one piece of content, or a video that gets shared a lot, and it's going to be around those kind of catchy things like losing weight over the summer, trying to get in shape for your freshman, things that are searched a lot. And I think you'd be amazed at one piece of content. It might be 3 years of after creating 100 videos and 500 guides and doing some calls with people and meetups. Like it might be, but then in a few years you hit that one piece of content that goes viral, and an
oh yeah.
entire college is starting to trend and things like that. Like that's the power of the internet now, right? And so I'd do that. Yes, I think you already know what you really need to do, and that's focus on yourself as the personal brand. Change your branding image kind of to something that you would identify with more, even yourself, and that you could put your name on and your face on, and it blend in with what you're trying to do, and then just grow with your audience and make it more about you than the supplements. Because those, like the stuff you're selling, like this is the thing about drop shipping, the supplements that you're selling, anyone can get those anywhere. You can get them on
Oh yeah.
Amazon. There's 100 other places to get them. The only reason they're going to get them from you is because they got some sort of value from you in content, social media, a guide, whatever it is, you inspired them, whatever it is, and then they click on your website. That's the only way you're going to get traffic. It's the only way people would buy here instead of Amazon. Like why would I buy Gold Standard Whey from you if I can get it from Amazon and get it shipped me within 2 days, right? Like the only people
Yeah.
will do it though if you've created the value more than Amazon has in the fact that they can ship it to them in 2 days. If you've given them a six-pack abs, if you've made them lose 15 pounds in the past 3 months, they're going to come to you. And so I'd focus on giving value, and creating a brand around you so that they'll come to your website that way.
I see. Yeah, and I tried to do that with something I was testing out today, which was like I made like top 10 reviews
Mm-hmm.
for all of my supplements, so that way like they can go in and they can see what like based on the rank each supplement, and I give them a good description of what it is, and, like how it tastes, everything like that. That way they're getting like a lot of information from somebody who's actually taken the supplements before.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like just like one little example of content that like would bring them in and make the value for these products.
Yeah, and if you really want to arbitrage this thing out, you go onto YouTube, literally search terms that people are going to search a lot. Things like biceps workout. See what comes up at the very top. Make a video that has the exact same, if not, or like close enough title with the same keywords or something. So it's going to rank high. People are going to watch it a lot. And things like abs workout that people will do a couple times a week, they get hooked on it. Like just make a bunch of that content at the end of those videos. Like create a good solid 15-20 minute ab workout. At the end of the video, it's a short pitch, 30 seconds of you holding up a cup, you at a table with 5 different supplements. Say, click the link below, and I'm going to show you what are the pros and cons of each of these supplements, which ones I liked and which ones I didn't. Don't try to pitch them on like buying. Just say, hey, because after you work out, like that is a prime time for that person to buy supplements. And so if you can say, hey, I'm not going to try selling you, I'm just trying to give you advice on which one you should get, that's value, even more value for them to click on your website, and then you're off to the races. You got them in your funnel, right? So that's something that, like, if I was to say one tactic, I'd say make videos on YouTube of you. It doesn't need to be fancy. It just needs, like, there's incredible there's fitness videos that have millions of views, and it's literally someone in their room doing ab workout, or like some like six-pack abs, for instance. They've started off like it's literally a guy in a tank top in his room. And so I'd focus on, getting something that's keyword, that's catchy, that's stuff that people are searching a lot, and just use those titles. And then, like I said, make a great workout, put some music to it, whatever it is. And then at the end, just make some sort of a pitch / way of giving them more content on your website, get them to your website somehow.
I see. Yeah, thank you for that. That actually is something that I needed to hear, because the route I was going wasn't really much for branding. More it's just like trying to like straight market to somebody and get them to my website and get them to buy. But that's clearly not gonna be the best way to.
Yeah, especially right now, right? Because especially right now, you're selling a commodity, and what I mean by a commodity is they can buy it on Amazon for the exact same price, and it's gonna be really tough for you to beat 2-day shipping right now, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
there's no reason
that
right. There's no reason for them to buy from you from a purely commodity standpoint. You got to make the brand. Like, that's the only way you win in this game. That's why Amazon's killing all the other retailers, because no one cares about Walmart. No one cares about Costco. They're selling commodity, but someone will go to someone's website and buy their little product or their little thing because they offered them value, or they gave them advice, or they helped them in some way, right? Like, that's why, like, for instance, like the podcast thing, the reason that people will pay me to do these calls sometimes is because I do a ton of them for free, right? And so if I were you, I'd just be focusing, how can you give value? How can you give videos, workouts, eating plans, all of that stuff, as much as you can for free? And then you'd be amazed that, okay, finally, instead of going to Amazon, they'll buy the exact same thing for me for the exact same price, and they're not as picky about shipping.
Yeah, and by then, hopefully, once I've created that following, I'll have the overhead to get a better shipping method, because I don't think 20-day shipping is really sustainable for any business.
No, it's not. And what happens too, and this is where the money is at, is you create your own brand. That means like getting something local, and you essentially just change the wrapper.
Yeah.
You put the logo on a shirt, and now it's you can get it to them in a few days. It has your logo, and they're buying it because of you, right? And that's what's gonna sell. That's what's gonna sell.
That way too.
Totally.
Because you don't have to pay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, that's probably that is a good idea.
Well, let's stay in touch. Let's stay in touch. Let me know, like, maybe in the fall or something, shoot me an email. I can look at your website. But I think you kind of have an idea of what I'm talking about, like even just some of the videos, the pictures on your front page. Kind of like, how do we tweak that to be you? Even if it's not you, your picture necessarily, but like your brand, who you are, so that when people would meet you, they see Daily Grind Fitness, right? Like, if they met you in person, they'd be like, oh yeah, that's the Daily Grind Fitness guy. Not, oh, well, on his website there was these massive dudes, like, so I'd just double down on your niche right now, and go after what you're currently going through, and then vlog / video / blog / podcast / Instagram, all the pictures, whatever it is, essentially just document what you're doing. As you build your muscles, as you develop your exercise routines, and as you develop your eating habits, like what's working for you, what's not working for you, and then just document that for your entire, following that's going to be around your age or around what you're interested in, and try not to be like everything to everyone, right?
Yeah. That is going to be the next challenge, is trying to like incorporate myself and take all these videos and stuff in the gym,
right?
And find time to extend to platforms like YouTube, because I'm not really like familiar with that platform yet, but I'm definitely going to put some time into that, and because YouTube is one of the bigger influencer platforms.
Yeah, like
especially for my generation.
yeah, and don't overthink it too much. Like honestly, from a phone, you can, if you download the app for YouTube, you can click the top right. It um has a little camera thing. You can set up your phone and start recording, right? Like do it that way. And like I said, there's a ton of videos out there that have pathetic video quality and lighting and choreography, and the fitness video goes crazy because it's that good workout. And so I would, YouTube and Facebook are great for video. And so if you're going to do that, like I was saying about the title part and trying to create that, and then having a link / kind of pitch at the end to your website to give them more value, not to pitch a product, but to like give them more value of like a guide of some sort like that. I'd go the Facebook and YouTube route as far as the video stuff.
Yeah. And the best thing about it is, all of this is going to be pretty organic.
Mm-hmm.
For following, it's not going to be anything really paid or
right.
Yeah. So, but thank you for that. That was actually really enlightening for me to hear that, because the way I was going was not going to be able to be sustainable. So.
Well, like it is, like in one way, like if you wanted, more money next month, you had the right thought. How do I get the more clicks? Make sure the click I pay less for the click than I do for what the total sale value is. That's short term though, because the problem with that is if Google changes their algorithm, or one of your suppliers go under, or something crazy happens, you have no control. But what people can't take away from you is your brand, and that's you.
Brand experience.
Yeah. So I'd focus 100% on that. Yeah, long term. But like I said, it takes one piece of content to go viral. You get 100,000 people watching a video. 1,000 of them go to your website. 200 of them sign up for your free guide. 50 of them buy a supplement. You're off to the races.
Oh yeah. And it's going to be a lot easier to, once you have like good branding, it's going to be a lot easier to sell whatever you want, versus like I could sell like in-home fitness equipment easier and stuff like that, rather than just like supplements and clothing.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Just because once we have that brand, you can really sell whatever you want, because it's kind of trusted, and they kind of will want whatever you tell them to want.
Yeah. And don't expect it to be overnight. The branding thing is, especially when you're doing personal branding, is a long-term game. But like I said, two things. One, it takes one piece of content. Two, this is how the only way to really make this business work and make it profitable is, and make yourself unique in any way in this industry, is your personal brand. So it's the only way you really have